But Rat, I should have put Rat
Rat,
in.
I love Rat, man.
But
Rat is
Rat, I
fire.
should have put in this because I'll tell you after. But
Well, I'll do it real quick because I've been watching a lot of shit. Here's what's going on with Rat. PSC's got something going on with his throat. He's got
yeah,
throat cancer or some kind of
he
cancer.
does. Yeah,
But I seen an interview. He looks good and he sounds good. Now, in that band, there's Bobby Blotz is the drummer. They've had problems. PSC's had problems with him. He's had problems with the bass player, and he had problems with Warren DeMartini, who is the guitar player, who is phenomenal. Great guitar player, DeMartini.
right.
They can't get it together to get them guys back together. But for me, if they would tour, if Rat would tour, they would play like maybe 5,000 seaters. Like they have theaters in Jersey, like it'd be like an old movie theater that they convert into a venue, for music.
Right.
And they would play a place like that. I would go see them. I'd go see Piercy and DeMartini, but I wouldn't see anything. They forget the other guys, but them two guys I would go see.
Right. Right.
I don't care who's playing the drums. I don't care who's on bass or rhythm guitar. As long as those two guys were there, I would go see them, but not PSC alone or not DeMartini alone.
Right.
Shout out Earl Skakel. he's a big Rat guy. He knows Stephen Pierce.
All right. So next is Judas Priest.
Absolutely. If they could get KK, Tipton, and Halford back, I'm in.
Isn't Halford back? He's
been back for a while, but KK and Tipton are not.
Like he's still got that amazing voice. Rob still got
Halford. I seen Halford warm up Ozzy about 10 years ago, and the name of the band was Halford, and it was just him. He did about 5 Priest songs. He did some of his own shit. He's in rock and roll or metal or whatever, he's right up there with like the way he sounds still to today. He's still got it, man.
Yeah,
he's not 100% what he was, but he could still hit some notes, man.
Yeah, so I would
might be one of the best, from that era, that metal era. You're into Maiden, so I'm not really into him. But how is Dickinson? Is his voice held up?
It's beautiful. His voice is amazing.
So then him too.
Yeah. So there's still, I would still, like you got to remember with Maiden, they brought in the, like they said, in the 80s when they had the original singer, he was okay, but they wanted guys like Rob, Halford. They wanted guys that could go high, could sing high.
Yeah.
So that's how the guy lost his job, which sucks. So they brought in Dickinson, and Dickinson had that, he's got that voice, right? And also they are the first concert I ever went to go watch.
Paul Di'Anno.
Yeah, Paul Di'Anno. And he's see some of his voice sometimes works for some of the songs. Some guys, their voice goes with the song. And if somebody else were to sing it, it just wouldn't go.
Right.
So when they changed up and said, we got to go high, like that's where we're going to do stadiums and shit, then that's when they got rid of him. And it kind of sucks, but whatever. No,
Dickinson. I mean, when I think of Iron Maiden, I think of Dickinson right away. I don't even give the other guy a thought, but I'm not a big Iron Maiden guy.
I still listen to Maiden. Right, but I love Judas Priest. So Judas
Priest is like, have you ever gone back to the early shit like Rock-a-Rolla?
I was just listening. That was the first
State Class.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Rock-a-Rolla Woman. Yeah.
Sad Wings of Destiny.
Yeah, they had awesome tunes.
Unleashed in the East, right?
They had. I remember asking my dad to go get me the album because I was in Acapulco and an album came out, and I said, Dad, I really want this album. And my dad said, what is it? I said, it's Judas Priest.
The devil's music. And Vito, you're listening to the devil's music.
He was like, it was just funny because when I came back, I didn't think he'd get it for me, but there it was. It was sitting there, and he got the album for me, and it was just like he just went to the front and said, "Do you have Judas Priest?" The guy.
My son's a headbanger.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, sure, we got Judas Priest
He's
here.
an Acapulco
Which,
now,
which
but
Judas Priest do you
they'll be
want?
back.
And I wrote it down for him. I wanted Judas Priest live, right? It was like a so
That was Unleashed in the East.
yeah. So that's what. So I still have it to this day, and the original, and it was awesome. I still love. That's the thing with Halford's voice. I think he's got a beautiful voice. I think he
Yeah.
takes care of his voice.
Right.
And a lot of
Oh,
guys.
it gets lubed very well. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
He
yeah,
lubes it
yeah,
up real very well.
yeah, I know.
Hey, listen, man. You know, Priest. I love them too, man. They're one of the bands that I fell in love with, man, when I was a kid. Man, I seen them a couple times, man,
Oh, I
and
love. Yeah, they're.
I knew we were going to talk about them. And the one thing I'm going to say, man, and I've seen a lot of concerts, and I'm not 100% sure, but I remember Judas Priest almost sounding exactly like the record. The
Yeah,
closest, like when you see a live band, they play a song.
his voice. I'm telling you,
But
man.
when those four, no, when they had the original guys, they had all different drummers. Drummer don't matter. Take the drummer out. It was the bass player. It was KK Downing, Glenn Tipton, and you had Halford singing. Those four guys, they they were on point, man, because the two guitar guys, they would switch on and off, not only rhythms, but leads. So one guy would do a lead in one song, the other guy would do the rhythm. The other guy, they were just so fucking succinct, they were
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
And
They,
that's why I said to you, I wouldn't go see them if it was just one or the other. I want to see the three of them. If I'm going to spend
yeah,
the money,
I don't
I
think
want to
it's
see
gonna.
Kit. I want to see that KK. I want to see Tipton, and I want to see Halford.
So that's what I would say if I was a lead singer. I'd be, listen, shut the fuck up and just play.